Respected
Right.
HOD, APH, and heads of various department, honorable professors, dear participants, very good afternoon to one and all. It is a great pleasure to welcome you all for the first webinar, MOOC for Educators, Transition to E-Learning, organized by the Department of Applied Physics, Sri Venkateshwara College of Engineering. I thank our principal and the management and head of the department for permitting us to conduct this webinar. We are glad to see the astonishing response shown by the participants towards this webinar. On behalf of the Department of Applied Physics, I'm glad to introduce our esteemed speaker for the day, Dr. J.C. Prasanna Sir, Associate Professor, Department of Applied Physics, Madras Christian College, Tambaram, Chennai. He has gained 30 years of teaching experience in the field of physics, and he has done his schooling and college in MCC. Around 38 papers in various reputed journals he has published with high impact factor and presented more than 60 papers in national and international conference, a patent on methodology to identify pharmacologically potent drug published in official patent journal. He has guided 70 students at PG, MPhil, and PhD levels, and he is a life member of Ultrasonic Society of India, and he is a nodal officer for ERP to the entire MCC. He got knowledge transfer certificate for examination module and admission module, where concept creation, flowchart, testing, and implementation was done by him. He is an academic board member for Kendra Vidyalaya School. He is a member of different boards in various colleges, and because of his hard work and multi-personality in various fields, he also received a Lifetime Achievement Award. Now I hand over the session to our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Johanan Christiana Prasanna sir. Please, sir, you can start the session. Participants, thank you for your patience. Prasanna sir,
Uh,
you
th-
can start. Yes,
yes,
sir. Thank you.
yes. Thank you, Dr. Sheila.
Thank you, sir.
And I convey my thanks to Dr. Bhaskaran also. I hope I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
It's
You
a
are
clear?
audible, sir.
Okay, okay. Convey my greetings and thanks to Dr. Bhaskaran, head of the Department of
Sure,
Physics,
sure, sir.
giving me this opportunity to present MOOC for educators transition to e-learning. I also thank the participants for joining the program. I hope it will be helpful for them, for all of you, at least to start immediately in a smaller way in your college. So let me just go into the presentation. I'll switch off my uh, video, and then so that you can see I can see the presentation clearly. Okay. Right. So MOOC for educators, transition to e-learning. Uh, the uh, the the e-learning platform has gained more importance these days because of COVID, as you know. The coronavirus disease 19 has created a pandemic, has created a lot of issues regarding meeting the classroom in person. So this e-programming has gained a lot of importance these days. So a knowledge of about complete e-learning process of a subject plays a major role these days. So my presentation will have few overview points. I'm not giving the exact content what is there in my site, in my slideshow, but I'm giving an overview of what is there in my site, in the slideshow. So the first one is I will introduce all of you to the MOOC. What is MOOC? And it is not a new concept. Most of you will be knowing about the MOOC concept. Then about this MOOC is a e-course. It's more like a e-course, and this MOOC can be placed in various platforms. But one such platform, which is a very vital platform, which I'm going to discuss, is the SWAYAM. And SWAYAM is introduced by the MHRD department of our MHRD unit of our government of India. So I'll be discussing mostly how this MOOC is being put into the SWAYAM platform. Then for discussing the SWAYAM platform, how the MOOC can be put into the SWAYAM platform, the content creation plays a major role, because MOOC means it's an e-content. We cannot just like that take the classes as we do. It needs a little bit of preparation. So how we create the content. So that would be my third part of the discussion. And my last part would be a very small composition of the entire slideshow, but it's a very, very important composition, which is the importance of MOOCs. How you can introduce the MOOC in your college, how can you prepare the MOOC easily. So let me just go step by step. Let me start with the MOOC. What is MOOC? MOOC is a massive online, open online course. And sometimes we call it as MOOCs with a small suffix S, which is massive open online courses. It's a plural of MOOC. The term MOOC was coined in 2008 by David from the University of Prince Edward Island. And from that day onwards, slowly it started picking up. And in the recent years, for the past 3-4 years, it is in the full swing. And many institutes, they started giving the concept of MOOCs in their curriculum and in their website. So the online course, why it is, it's very important because it's an online program and easy to log in, easy to study, and most importantly, because of this, there's a massive participation for the program. Lakhs and lakhs of people register for MOOCs, and it is easy for them to take the course and then complete it on time and open access. And it is sometimes some of the courses are even free. You need not have to shell money from your pocket, shell out money, and then you can still do the course and get yourself certified. And some of the courses are also paid courses are there. It depends on the company which is introducing the concept and the company which is introducing the course and things like that. So it varies from institution to institution or from platform to platform. So the one major question would arise. One major question that would arise is whether MOOC is it recognized? Because whenever we do a degree or whenever we do a course these days, the question is whether it is recognized. We talk about a lot of interdisciplinary aspect and things like that. So many things are there. Globalization, everything is there. Finally, finally when you receive the degree in your hand, the question is whether it is recognized. Because as a parents, we all expect our children to study a recognized program. And so whether it is a recognized course. Yes, there are 6 courses, 6 platforms, I would say. So if you are creating, for example, if you are creating a MOOC for German or French or any language, then you have to load it in the Duolingo. So like that, depending on the particular type of course you can choose any one of the platforms and then you can implement these. Only a few examples. There are plenty of other examples are also present. Um, so what is the advantage of MOOCs? There are plenty of advantages. So some of the advantages are it is available online, collaboration, and cross culture. And whenever we talk about MOOCs, the credentials is very, very important. That is whether the course is recognized and things like that. So therefore, we always look for a MOOC program which is a recognized program. So therefore, when a MOOC program is offered formally, for example, it is offered with a credit or it is offered with a certification or things like that, then the MOOC programs are generally recognized, or we can say that it is a recognized programs. So that is how the MOOC program will be useful. Now the question is, some people will think that whether can I put this in my CV so that I can bloat my CV. Yes, of course. You are, till now there is no rule stating that you cannot put it in the CV. So you can very well put it in the CV, provided it is formally done and credentials have been recognized. Now, having studied now I will go into the SWIAM. That is the second part of my discussion, which is the SWIAM. And like we saw a few examples of MOOC. Sheila, I'm audible,
Ah,
right?
yes, sir, you are on.
Okay, okay. So we have seen few examples, Duolingo, all these things. So like that, SWIAM SWAYAM is another platform which is introduced by the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India under Digital India scheme recently. And this platform is a platform for MOOCs. That is NPTEL, MOOC, all the programs you can develop the course content in this and load it in this program. So this is a well recognized program by UGC, and any program that you load it in this, it carries a lot of weightage. So that is why I thought I will choose the SWAYAM, and we will discuss little bit of about SWAYAM, how the SWAYAM functions and how you can put the content in the SWAYAM and what are the importance of creating the content and things like that. So SWAYAM is a platform, and it says like it is the expansion of this is that study webs of active learning for young aspiring minds. Study webs of active learning for young aspiring minds. So this is a platform where you create a program and then you can load it. Now, creating a program and loading this in this website is we cannot simply just like that do it. It has series of action to be done. So before going into that, let's see a little bit about the SWAYAM. It's an integrated platform and portal for online courses. And when we say courses, it has both your academic, the regular curriculum programs and various other programs like that. And so it is an integrated platform, and it mainly uses, or it is an information and communication technology. It uses information and communication technology, fully digitalized. So you need not have to have a personal assistant, but personal assistant comes at the place whenever it is needed at an appropriate time. It uses information communication technology. And this information communication technology plays a very, very, very major role in your academic score, which I will be discussing it later. And the SWAYAM covers a wider region. It covers a wider area. It starts from high school education, and you can create programs. You can create courses for high school education. For example, if you want to create a program for environment science, you can create a MOOC program for that. If you want to create a program for maths, you can create. You can create a program for botany, zoology, physics, or whatever subject, and then you can load it in this. And it is very much used in the higher education right now. And sometimes it is becoming very, very important, or it plays some of the major role in higher education. That when it comes for NAC rating, NIRF ranking, and all these things, the MOOC plays a very major role. And skill development courses also are there. Skill development courses, sometimes it is not included in the curriculum, but it is more useful for our day-to-day day-to-day activity. So it gives a very wider coverage right from schooling up to the professional levels. And the develop more to build a strong platform, that is the SWAYAM. It encourages people to develop more and more and more of MOOC programs, so that a strong IT platform you develop. So their main thing is that you name it, you get it. So that type of course structure they are planning to build a very, very strong IT platform. And I hope in near future, plenty of programs will be loaded in the SWAYAM platform. And it is a state-of-art system allowing easy access, monitoring, and certification of the program. So that this is what I was telling, that is whether it is recognized. The MOOC programs in the SWAYAM mostly are recognized, and it leads to certification. And facility for interaction and discussion. That is, sometimes we might think that in some of the programs, in some of the YouTube videos and all, we will see the video and there won't be any possibility of interaction. But here you see that there is an interaction component developed in the MOOC program itself, MOOC course. So therefore, it gives a very good clarity about the subject. So I would say that it is a hybrid model. And where we talk about blended teaching, maybe you can browse what is blended teaching and things like that. And nowadays the teaching style is totally changing. It is changing to blended teaching, experiential learning. I hope you all know what is an experiential learning. It is the it is something like thinking a concept, developing the idea, developing the idea, you test it, and you implement it. So that is what you call it as that is what you call it as that. This is the basic of your experiential learning. You experience your thoughts so that it stays always in your mind. And the blended teaching is also a component of that, where you have the teacher concept is also there, and the digitalization concept is also there. So that is the best part of this platform. That is, you have the both hybrid. It's a hybrid model classroom teaching experience you will have. At the same time, you will also have the digital teaching experience. Dr. Sheila, I'm audible, right? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir, you're audible. You're audible, sir.
Okay, right, fine. So now, before going into the my third component, that is the course creation, I just wanted to dwell a little bit about the SWAYAM, because the importance of SWAYAM is very much needed for you. Because the thing is that only when you see how the SWAYAM functions, you will not able to understand the importance of this MOOC program. Because once you develop a course, and if you say that I have loaded my MOOC program in SWAYAM platform, it means that you get a very good, you have developed a very strong MOOC program. Because I will be going through the committees and the related details, or we call it as definitions. And when we go through that, you will see that how rigorous this course creation, testing, and implementation. So you will know that how rigorous it is. So which means that you are building a very strong MOOC program. You have very strong MOOC program, and you can be very proud that you have created a fantastic MOOC program, and then you have loaded in the SWAYAM platform. And some of the committees and the person who are involved in this are: one is the Academic Advisory Council, which is a group of academicians of very high repute, who are identified and appointed by the national coordinator. And I will be discussing about the national coordinator, who this person is, little later. In the next slide, I will discuss it. And this group of academicians of repute, they are of high caliber, so that when the MOOC program goes into their hands, it is thoroughly screened and everything is done perfectly. So the MOOC program coming out of the SWAYAM and giving you clearance is one of your best creation that you can be proud of. Now, who is this course coordinator? Course coordinator is a subject matter expert, and he is the one architect of the entire program. The thing is that now the question will arise: how will I know whether the program is being offered? We have to constantly keep checking the website of SWAYAM, and whenever they call for the proposal, we have to step in into it and then give the proposal. So this person who is going to give the proposal is the course coordinator. So he is the person, he is a specialist, and he is he is a person of high repute, and yes, the background also will be seen. That is where he is from, which industry, which institute, all these things they will be discussing. And this course coordinator is given all the burden of developing the program and completing the online course. So course coordinator plays a very pivotal role in the entire creation of MOOC program. Now, as I said, the courses are of two types. One is a credit course, and another one is a non-credit course. Now, what is this credit course? It is it is included in the curriculum. It's a part of the curriculum. Say, for example, if I say that atomic physics paper is one of the paper offered in the curriculum, that is, unless you clear that paper, you won't get the degree. So that is what I mean. It's a mandatory program. So when you have a mandatory program like that, and if you want to develop a MOOC, if you want to develop a MOOC program for this, then it is called as a credit course. because at the end of the program, you are giving the credits. Say if that paper is for 4 credits, you create a MOOC program for the entire course. You upload it in the SWAYAM and ask your students to take that course, and you certify them that they have cleared. So that is called as a credit course. It is taught for 1 semester as a part of the subject or program. Now, anything other than this is a non-credit course. That is, it could be an awareness program. It is not included in the curriculum. It may form, it is an additional add-on program, or it's a value-added program, skill-based program. So all these things come under non-credit courses. And nowadays, the NAC is very much interested in this non-credit course or the value-added programs. It could be, this value-added program could also be a non-credit program or a credit program, which means that it could be a program incorporated in your curriculum, or it could be you can do it outside the curriculum. So like that, this value-added program plays a very major role in the NAC because a lot of points are there for value-added program. So as a faculty members or as an educator, you can check out in your college through your IQAC cell whether you have a value-added program or not. If you don't have a value-added program, it is a high time that you start a value-added program in your institution so that it adds weightage for the institution. You can give these programs through the MOOC itself. Now, how do you develop the syllabus? This 4-quadrant approach is there. This I will be discussing it as my third part, which is the 4th-quadrant approach. How you develop the program, how you develop the course, how you develop the MOOC structure. All these things we will be discussing it little later. Then what is this host institute? Host institute is the one where, say, for example, I am preparing a program, and my institute is I'm there in Madras Christian College, and we are affiliated to the University of Madras. So when I am preparing a program, my University of Madras will become the host university, and Madras Christian College will be a parent institute. So it will be like that. So this is what the host institute is. That is, host institute is the one that conducts the examination, awards credentials, and provides certification. So that is the host institute. Sometimes the host institute will also be a parent institute. I will be discussing what is a parent institute in the next slide, so that when I do that, you will be able to understand the difference between a host and the parent institute. Now, this national coordinators, we were discussing about national coordinators earlier, and national coordinators are the individual who will be representing a particular sector. And what is this sector? See, this is the sector. This is the University Grants Commission. For if a person from University Grants Commission is going to be a national coordinator, he'll be focusing on non-technology postgraduate degree program. A person from IGNOU, a national coordinator from IGNOU, he'll be focusing on the diplomas and certificate program. And if a national coordinator is from NCRT, he'll be focusing on school education. So this is how the national educators, coordinators are chosen. And so that is about the national coordinators. Then this is the parent institute, is the one which I was telling. And the parent institute is a place where the students are registering. It is something like the students are registering in your college. So for example, if we take the case of institute, or for example, Madras University, the Madras University Physics Department is the one which is offering the course, and the Madras University is the one which is giving the degree. So the parent and the host institute is the same. When we talk about Madras Christian College, the college offers, the students enroll in the college, and the degree is offered by University of Madras. So here, the parent institute is Madras Christian College, where the students are registering, and the University of Madras is the host institute which is offering the degree. So now I think you will be able to understand the difference between a parent institute and the host institute. Of course, sector we have seen, and we will go into the what is subject matter expert groups. We were discussing about the subject matter expert who is the CC. And this CC will be forming a group of reputed academicians who will be looking into the program that has been developed by the course coordinator. So that is the subject matter expert group. And this group, and I'll be discussing one more team. And these are the teams which will be thoroughly understanding your MOOC program, thoroughly studying your MOOC program, and then they will come to a conclusion whether it can be accepted or whether the MOOC program has to be accepted with revisions or it has to be rejected. So this subject matter expert group and few other groups are the most important groups. And now what is the subject? Subject is the, say for example, it's the specific area of your MOOC programs. So now the SWAYAM, we have studied about we have seen about the various various definitions of SWAYAM, and these definitions or these committees is the one which mainly decides, which mainly formulates the entire MOOC program. So you can see that how many committees, how many people are involved in the preparation of the MOOC program. So therefore, once you get a approval, and then once you create a MOOC program and get it cleared through the board, SWAYAM board, then it means that it is really flawless. Your program is really flawless, and you can it can be very well used for at a global level standards. Now the composition of the SWAYAM board, we can see that secretary, chairman, chairperson UGC, chairperson AIC, and 5 other bureau heads, then all national coordinators of SWAYAM Prabhas, then JS and FA of MHRD, and mission director, NME, ICT, member secretary. So these are the people, top people, the SWAYAM. And what they do, they see the smooth running of the SWAYAM. And what is the SWAYAM? SWAYAM Prabha is also it's a SWAYAM platform only, but this SWAYAM Prabha is slightly different from the MOOC. It's a channel, 32 high definition channel programs. They will be running 24 hours educational programs. We are not going to focus on SWAYAM Prabha. We will be sticking on SWAYAM. And this functioning of SWAYAM board is that they make the policies regarding the implementation issues, including costing and all these things, and constant review of the national coordinator functioning and any other related problems regarding the implementation and operation of a MOOC program is done by the SWAYAM board. Then it has again a very high composition of people, high level bureaucrats, the chairman UGC, chairman A, to technical experts, to repute academicians, to representatives from the industry, then director AICTE, member secretary. So we have a SWAYAM board where again you can see that lot of people are there. Okay. So the functioning of this board is they lay down the conditions of product delivery, courses offered, integration of SWAYAM, and monitor the process, and then go up to the certification. Now, why I spent so much of time in the structure of the SWAYAM is mainly because you should know how your course that you are developing goes through a rigorous process. So now the thing is that now we have going into the third stage. So far we have studied what is the MOOC and what are the platforms in which MOOC can be projected, and what is the what about the SWAYAM? About SWAYAM, SWAYAM is also a platform where you can offer the MOOC programs. So we have studied we have seen what is the MOOC, and we have now seen what is the SWAYAM platform. Now we are going into the third part, which is the MOOC course creation. So this third part plays a major role or vital part for you, because this is the one which is going to explain to you how you can create a MOOC program, MOOC course. Now, this MOOC creation of MOOC course has 5 steps. The first one is identification. The second one is pre-production activity. The third one is production activity. Then the fourth one is post-production activities. The last one is review of course content and approval. So these are the 5 major steps in the MOOC course creation. So let's see one by one. What is this identification? Identification mainly deals with the identifying the course where you wanted to focus on. Say, for example, I said I wanted to prepare a course content for the atomic physics. So therefore, the national coordinator, he will be identifying who is interested to create this program. So the expression of interest is obtained from the course coordinator, which is CC. And after obtaining the course EOI, that is the expression of interest from CC, the parent institute or the course institute should give the willingness so that this person, based on his repute, based on his academic standards, the university will say that, okay, so and so can be the course coordinator to develop this program. So once the course coordinator is identified, the national coordinator will check the proposal and he will check the reputation of the institute. And once all these things are done, he will pass it to appropriate board. And then after confirmation, he will say that the national coordinator will give a clearance to the course coordinator to complete the course within 6 months. Then in this, there's one small thing which you have to look into it, is that if the course coordinator is a private person, say for example, a person X, and that person X cannot give the certification, but he might be interested in creating a MOOC program. The second option is, or he is from a private university where the university cannot give a proper recognized degree. So when a person who's interested to give a MOOC program, interested to create a MOOC program, but not recognized, and also a person and also a university which is not able to give a recognized degree. So when these two people are there, then what has to be done is that they have to identify a public university which is authorized to give the degree. So once the public university which is authorized to give a degree is identified, then the private person or a person from the private university can sign a MOU with this private university, and then they can very well offer the MOOC program under the SWINE platform. Then the academic advisory council and the special matter expert groups, this is what I told in the last slide. The NC will get approval from these two boards, and then they will convey, and he will convey it to the national coordinator for the proceeding for the preparing of the program. So this is a pre-production. So what are the pre-production activities has to be done? First is the CC must form the academic team. Then he should prepare an introductory module, scheduling the course, instructional videos, reading material, assessment, discussion forum. So all these things he has to prepare, and then he has to submit it to the NC for approval. So once that is done, then this proposal will be taken to next level. That is, NC will take it to the SMEG, that is special group. So he will take it to that group, and then it will be screened. It is something like presenting your paper. What you do, you prepare the paper, and then you upload the paper in some journal. What happens? It goes to the peer review, and peer review committee will decide whether it has to be published in the same form or modification has to be done, or it has to be rejected. The same thing. This MOOC is something like your paper presentation, paper publication. So it will be checked, then it will be approved, and then either it will be approved directly, or the request for modification will be done, or it can also be rejected. But any of these three things should be done within 3 weeks time. And once this is done, once the committee completes, once the group completes this formality, it will be handed over to NC, and the NC will call the CC to make appropriate changes, and then present it to the same board within 2 weeks time. Once everything is cleared, and the NC will give a clearance certificate to the CC to start the production. So this is the second part. The third part is a production activity. How does a production activity goes? Production activity has the first thing is that you have to find out a proper place for say that recording. You don't need a full-fledged recording theater, but of course the SWAYAM gives a series of details. But what we have done is that in Madras Christian College, we have identified a room. We have put the full curtains we have put to avoid the echo. And then we have a whiteboard. All the reflections have been cut down, and we have a whiteboard. And I do it with my camera. With my Canon camera, I do the recording, and then we go for, so that is how we do the recording. Since I know about the recording and the processing, I take care of all these things. So, but sometimes if you do not have experience about recording and editing, then you can always create a production team, and then you can take use of them. And I also requested the help from the audiovisual department of our college, which they said they will help me out in the recording and things like that. So you have to identify a proper place for recording, and then a production. Then the course content should be of duration of course content should be for a 4-credit program. 20 hours of video has to be done. I will be discussing in within 2 or 3 slides about these details in elaborate format. Then the reading material for a course of about up to 40 modules for a 4-credit course. 20 hours of video should be there, which is with the reading material, and the course can be subdivided into different modules. So 40 modules. So for example, if I'm going to prepare a program for atomic physics, then the entire course should have a 20 hours video, and it should have 40 modules. Say for example, when I say modules, for example, for atomic course, the module can be, first one can be definition of an atom. So that is one module. The next one is the constituents of the atom. That could be the second module. So you subdivide your course into 40 small units, and you create the content for all these 40 modules. So that is your that is the modules. Then the presentation, we cannot just like that take a classroom presentation and things like that. So it should be a innovative technology. Pedagogy should be different. So therefore, you should have an innovative teaching pedagogy, which means that your video can have few minutes of teaching, like standard chalk and talk method. Then you can have a video clips, you can have diagrams, you can have definitions, you can have cartoons, you can have mind mapping, anything that you want to have creativity, you can include it in that video. So that is about the third component. Then the fourth one is the post-production activity. Once you create this content, the audio, video, nothing will be very clear. Certain times you might have a glare. Certain times you may have the echoing and things like that. So what you do is that you go for pre-production. Post-production. That is, you go for video editing, sound editing, and sometimes you might need to add few things as a caption in the video. So all these things, then visual effects, the glare can be cut down, and all these things can be struck down. So therefore, this part plays a major role. That is, you polishing your content that you have recorded. So that is the main thing in this, polishing your content that you have recorded for your MOOC program. So that is your post-production activity. Then once all these things are done, you hand over the entire MOOC program to the national coordinator. National coordinator is the single person point of contact. He is the point of contact. Under him, there will be plenty of course coordinators. So each course coordinator has to contact the corresponding national coordinator. So what he does is that he takes the MOOC program, and then the respective boards undergo different, they scrutinize the content and approve it. As I told you earlier, either they approve it without any comments, or they might put a comment, and minor comments they can put and clear it, and sometimes they can even reject. But at this point of time, rejection will not be there that much. So only thing is that polishing of few things might require, and all these things, once this is done, and all the respective boards clear the content, and once it is cleared, and once it is certified for putting it for giving us a MOOC course, then it has to be intimated to the university, and then it has to be uploaded in their website. So for example, if I create a course, it has to be cleared. The NC should clear everything, and it has to be uploaded in the University of Madras website. So once that is done, your MOOC program, you have done the MOOC course. So this is that. So now the thing is that once you do the MOOC, the next major part of it is, how do you give the certification? How do you give the certificate? How do you know that? How do you know that that particular person has studied? So for that, you need to have an assessment. So first bit is more like your classroom teaching. You teach, you give study materials, you give everything. But how do you say that he is clear? You have to give the test. So that is this one. So the testing pattern, as the CC has the facility to decide the testing pattern. He can decide the assessment pattern. And two types of assessment patterns are there. One, or you can combine both. One is the online assessment. Online assessment includes the quiz, then your content can be, once you develop the content. So for example, if I'm developing the content for atomic physics, I can have a quiz, then I can have multiple choice questions, I can have the problem solving, I can have the problem solving, I can have a long answer question, I can have a short answer question. All these things I can give it in the online itself. And other option is also there, like how we are doing the normal testing, pen and paper testing. We normally do it in the college. So if you wanted to have that also included in your assessment, then we can always include that. But only thing is that if you say that you wanted to include in a particular place, and that particular institute should be able to conduct the examination. So that is the only thing. That is, that institute should be volunteering to conduct the examination and hand over the scripts to the concerned CC. So that's the only condition. So these are the different assessment modules that you can incorporate in your MOOC program, in your MOOC course. The four-quadrant approach. Four-quadrant approach. The quadrant 1 contains the video, audio, animation, simulation, demonstration, lectures, etc. Any type of pedagogy, teaching pedagogy you wanted to include, you can include in this. So this is your course, this is your quadrant 1. So for example, if I'm planning to do for atomic physics, all the videos, all the classroom teaching, all the content. So quadrant 1 is this, creating the video and supportive documents for that, supporting methodologies along with the video. And this video can also contain the classroom teaching by a teacher. So that is quadrant 1. So this is how you develop the MOOC. Once you complete all these 4 quadrants, that 4 quadrants is called as the MOOC. So the quadrant 2 is the study material. So quadrant 1, it is something like you are taking your class, standing in front of the students and taking the class. So that is the quadrant 1. But simply, now what we normally do in the class, we simply draw the diagram, talk, but some of us use different methodologies. So only thing is that you make your presentation, what you are doing daily inside the class, as a digital form. That's all. As simple as that. So quadrant 1 is as simple as that. You digitalize what you are doing in front of your students in the classroom. That is your quadrant 1. Quadrant 2, you have prepared your handouts. What you do, you normally give it to the students. Additional study materials you give. So that is your quadrant 2. So quadrant 2 is your study material, e-books, case studies, links, then sometimes open source where that is from YouTube and things like that. These are the additional materials that you give them for studying. So that is quadrant 2. So quadrant 1 is your digitalizing. That is quadrant 1. Quadrant 2 and things like that. You convert your handwritten digital and you convert your PPT. So all third quadrant is a discussion. This is why we call that SWAYAM as a hybrid platform. I told you earlier, it's a hybrid platform because we have said that it is a blended teaching. Because of this only, this discussion forum is a place where you can have interact with the faculty members in and around your place. So that is the discussion forum. So that is quadrant 3. It is more like a classroom discussion. Quadrant 4 is the assessment test. How do you conduct the test in the classroom? Ask them to solve the problem. Sometimes we give 2 marks, sometimes we give 10 mark question and things like that. So now I think you would have understood now how a book is created. When all these 4 quadrants in a digital form, it is the MOOC. It is a MOOC. The thing is that you are already doing this work daily in your regular schedule. In all our regular schedule, we are doing the same thing, but I think that we have not yet. So it's a high time that we start digitalizing this. If we digitalize this, then your MOOC program is ready. So it is not something very big. It is not something very difficult to do it. It is not something beyond the thinking. It is all in our hands because we have already done all these things to convert it into digital form. So all these 4 MOOC and on successful completion. Now this I said the videos, the first one, that is quadrant 1. The videos should be of 25 to 30 minutes duration and for each module, and 25-30 minutes a long video, you subdivide it into 3 small units. So the concentration will be more student. So each module is subdivided is at 25 and total video duration credit program is 20 hours, which we've already told you. I've already slide, and total number of modules is 40. And teacher presentation should be less than 25 minutes. That is should be minutes. So it is 30 minutes. Around 7 minutes you can spend on chalk and talk. The rest of the thing, video, you should have demonstration, you should have case studies, you should have the simulations and mind mapping and things like that. Then the e-content, I mean the e-text, you can create e-text or notes, you can convert it to digitalizing. That is called as the e-text. So these points, your quad 1 and 2. So now see ready with your book. You're almost ready with your book. All that you have to modify what you have done into digitalization form. So a funding of about 13.5 program. And one thing is, say if you are a coordinator, if you are a course coordinator, it is not necessarily you have to do the you can ask the subjects to come and prepare a part of the program. So the funding is the money for the so experts can come, develop the MOOC program, and then give it to you. So for that, the funding is for the program. So the funding is mainly for that. So this is how you develop the MOOC program. These 4 quadrants, once you complete these 4 quadrants, your MOOC program is done. I'm just going back to that 4 quadrants once again. This 4 quadrant approach is the most important thing for a development of MOOC. The quadrant 1 contains video, quadrant 2 contains the study material, quadrant 3 is a discussion, and quadrant 4 is the assessment. So once you have all these things, this is your general classroom teaching. That is, you are teaching the class, you are giving the study material for the students, you are discussing in the classroom, you are doing the assessment. So what is digitalize it, you will get into the MOOC. You are created the MOOC program. So the course should be, the video should be of 25 to 30 minutes per module, and each 30 minutes audio means will be quite a long period. So therefore you divide it into 10 minutes each. That is, you divide it into 3 components, sub modules, and each component should be about 10 minutes. For a 4 credit program, it should be 20 hours, 40 modules, and teacher presentation should be less than 25 minutes of the total duration. So for example, for a 30-minute module, you can have a teacher presentation of about 7 minutes. So why do you want to develop MOOC? Now the students are very good in digitalization of and everything. So we also have to be in line with them. So therefore, improves your information, and it develops a strong knowledge about information communication technology. You also grow, we also grow along with the present day students and think along in their line so that we can deliver the content in a very successful manner. Then it helps you in self appraisal. That is, it will help you in boosting up your CV. That is the second thing. The third thing is, I'm just going on to this, and this is your academic score. So you can see that there are 6 components in the academic score. This table is given by UGC in 2018 under Gazette notification. This is the table which is used to calculate your academic score. You can see that first component is the research paper. Then the second component is the various publications you have. That is the books related things, books related articles. Then now look at this third component. This is the creation of ICT. Creation of ICT. You can see that in the third one, MOOCs, how much of marks they are giving. 20 marks for one MOOC program. Once you develop these 4 quadrants, you get 20 marks. That's the highest marking in all the entire in the entire career in the entire academic score table. Even the major projects also do not have that much of marks. So maximum weightage is given for this ICT training that is in MOOC. So a big weightage is given for MOOC in the ICT table, in the academic score. So it plays a major role in the academic, uh, it plays a major role in the academic scoring. So therefore, MOOC is also helps you to improve your academic level. You can see that this is a research guidance. You can see that the marks given, the next highest mark is given only for the PhD students, which is you once you guide a PhD student, you get the maximum mark of 10. And here you can see that the maximum is only 10 patents. Then again here, only 7. So you can see that the MOOC has the maximum academic score. So therefore, your academic score plays a major role. So why you want to develop MOOC? One of the importance is you improve your academic score. You create a course which you get benefited. At the same time, you are making the society get benefited at a very, very, very large extent, which is you are doing a very noble help towards the academic arena. And it improves your teaching pedagogy. Then another important thing, three major important things, two major things I just wanted to discuss it here. I have developed about lot of e-contents. So what I do is that I give the e-contents to the students, and the e-content, the videos, and also the lecturing notes. So what they do is that right in the beginning of the semester, I give the entire material to them. And I will tell them that this day I'm going to discuss FTIR. So what they will do is that they will go through my video, they will go through my study material and come to the class. So 15 minutes, I will discuss about the video and my notes. Then next 15 minutes will be the discussion. And then the another half an hour of the class will be thoroughly the application. So that is the advantage of having the digital form of course material, that is MOOC. So once you have that, you give it to the students, ask them to come to the class, reading that material. So it helps you have more discussion in the classroom. So that is the major advantage. So at the end of the class, my students will be able to fix or assign the values for each peak. That is, if this is the peak, it is because of carbon double bond carbon. If this is carbon single bond carbon. So at the end of the class, within 1 hour, they'll be able to identify the peaks present there. And not the concept of MOOC creation. Another important thing is that in all of your colleges will be having a ERP. ERP is Enterprise Resource Planning. Now, I need not have to explain all these things to you, but just to brief it, ERP is a different modules. For example, the admission module, examination module, your students module, staff module, then your library module. Everything will be put together under one software. Everything will be interlinked. So what you can do is that you have prepared the ICT, you have prepared the e-content, you load it in that module so that your college ERP strengthens. The what was ERP has now become a learning management system. So the college which is having an ERP program need not have to go in for a purchase of fresh learning management software. This itself will be a massive platform where they can build plenty of MOOC programs. So the four quadrant approach which I told you in 2 slides back, it is a common structure, though we have borrowed it from the SWAYAM. It is not necessarily, it is only for the SWAYAM. That concept you pick it up and prepare your MOOC and load it in your college ERP. Load it in your college ERP so that your college ERP now becomes a beautiful learning management system. So LMS. And another important thing why I said is that it is very useful for the society is learning is personal. Learning is personal. The way in which I learn, for example, I am not a very good fast listener and I cannot take it. Only when I read the material 3 or 4 times, I'll be able to understand. So that is what I mean that learning is made personal. So therefore, when you have this digital form, people, you can keep on be looking at it, and at one point of time, I'll be equal to one of the topmost student in the class. So that is another noble gesture that you do to the learning society. Whatever I said and done, whatever it is being said, MOOC or whatever it is, learning management system, everything, all this MOOC cannot replace a teacher. A teacher is a teacher. Personalization. Teacher is a teacher. All these things will facilitate teaching because a teacher, you and me, are the people who create a value system to the society. So the teacher concept cannot be removed from anything. So a teacher has to be there in the institute, standing in front of the students and create a culture that create a ethics, strong ethics should be created. So we have a moral binding as a teachers. We have a moral binding to develop a highly ethical society. Even though we have all digitalization and things like that, all these things will help you to develop the society, digital society. But as a teacher, it cannot, these electronic gadgets cannot replace a personal teacher. So what I wanted to tell you here is that the MOOC, the 4 quadrant approach, to summarize, we have said what is a MOOC, we have said what is SWAYAM, and how the MOOC program can be created. And the 4 quadrant approach is a standard model for you to create a MOOC course. You have already doing it on a daily basis. Just digitalize it. That's it. So once you do that, you are improving your own self, as well as you are contributing to the society at the large, and you are you always stand as a uh, uh, personal teacher to each one of the students. So with these, I hope you would have understood. I hope I made what is more clear, and I don't want to go too much into the development side because it is also again individualism. Each one will have a different idea and development it. So I've just given you the concepts, and then the we are go and you can use these concepts to develop your own MOOC program in your own style. And these are the references in which I have taken. And thank you, my dear friends. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sheila.
Thank
Thank
you, sir.
you,
Thank you
Hippolyta.
so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Participants, now the floor is open for question and answer session. If you have any queries, please proceed.
Hello, sir.
Sir, I am
Yes.
Professor Prabhu from Department of Biotechnology, Sri Venkateswara College of Engineering.
Hello.
Nice to hear you,
Am I
sir.
audible, sir? Thank you.
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my question is, shall I
hello.
continue?
Prasanna, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah,
Please,
You
Continue.
Prabhu
are,
sir, can you please ask one by one?
yeah,
Otherwise, you post in the chat
sir,
box.
I am asking,
yeah.
student completes his graduation from full day college. Can he adopt for post graduation from the SWAYAM? Hello.
Uh, Hello, sir. The voice
And
is.
if someone, hello, sir. If a student completes his degree course, that is engineering course, 4 year from college time, and after that he adopt post graduation, that is ME or MTech from SWAYAM.
Yeah, he can. He can.
Is that recognized by the different government for jobs and company jobs? Hello.
Yes, I think so. Because once the course is recognized, he can go for job and all. That won't be a problem for him. Once the course can be allowed, then he can go for the job.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks.
Prabhu sir, please, your
Thank you.
question.
Yeah, the question is,
Mm,
all the SWAYAM courses conducted by SWAYAM is
mm,
having equivalents to AACT courses, the percentage of contents present in the Swayam courses are equivalent to the AACT courses. I am asking to the speaker.
Sir Prasanna sir, are you able to hear what Prabhu sir is asking? Hello.
It is
Prasanna.
almost equal.
Yes.
Sheila, I think there is some disturbances that they can put it in the chat box and then you can
Okay,
get
I'll
it
read.
clarified from there.
Okay, okay,
I think,
okay. Thank you. Okay.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Please put your
Now,
questions in the chat box.
Dr. Sheila,
Yes,
I
sir.
think you can ask them to, because they will be having lot of doubts.
Yes, sir.
You can ask them to put it in the chat box, and I will clear all the
Sir, one
doubts
question from the
through
chat
you.
box. You already explained this. What is ERP full form? They're asking here.
Enterprise resource planning.
Enterprise resource planning. Please make a
Resource
note.
planning.
Thank you, sir.
It's not
Enterprise
ERT,
resource
it is
planning.
ERP. Please, participants, make a note.
Planning.
It is not ERT. Somebody typed as ERP. It is not ERP. Okay.
ERP.
Yeah, yeah.
Subject. Hello.
I'm just putting that slide now. ERP.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can I ask?
Please, you type in the chat box, sir.
Sir.
Please, I can read
Yes,
it
I
well.
think that would be better.
Please, you put the question in the chat box. I'll read the question to the speaker and he'll be answering it. Sir, one question from Dr. S. Prabhu, sir. Is all the courses of Swayam are equivalent to AICT courses? That is a question he raised. Is it all the courses from the Swayam are equivalent to the AICT
No,
courses?
no, that has to be checked with the MOOC course, because the thing is that the credit matters. Some of the courses will have a lesser credit and some of the courses will have higher credit. So it all depends on the credit, how much credit is given in that. That has to be considered, and if that credit matches to that degree, then it can be considered.
And why some
So
courses are
that has
not
to,
given
that should be.
credits? The other question is why some courses are
That
not
is
given?
it. Yes, that is what I said right in the beginning. There are two type of programs. One is the credit program, and another one is the non-credit programs. So we have to choose which one we need. So these are the two type of courses which are available in the Swime platform: credits and non-credit programs.
Another question. Does MOOCs cut across all disciplines, including fine arts and humanities?
Yes, there are, but it is only now developing. This one platform is now developing. So I think in the near future there will be more programs coming up in fine arts and other programs also.
Okay. Why funding important for MOOCs?
Hello.
Prasanna sir, why funding important
Yes.
for MOOCs?
Why funding?
Important for MOOCs.
Hmm.
That's a question asked by Veeramanikam sir.
Okay, right. The thing is that MOOC offers they will, in their website, they will offer the project. They'll offer the project to develop the MOOC program through Swayam. So if at all, that is what I said. If you have the project approved for a particular MOOC, you can accept that funding and develop the project based on that 4 quadrant and give it to the MOOC platform, and give it to the you publish your MOOC course through the through the MOOC platform. Or else I said, if you don't need a funding, you need not have to specially go into that. You can use that 4 quadrant approach, develop the course, and then you can put it in your ERP software, so that a strong learning management system can be created.
Another question is how the massive open online course help the students and the research scholars?
Help the students.
And research scholars.
See, the thing is that this is you create a program and load it in the platform. So the thing is that the students, they read, that is what I said, learning is personal. Learning is personal. So they keep on be reading.
Only few more
Mhm.
questions, sir. I think it is the last
Mhm.
two questions. How the master
Okay.
open other that you answered, sir? How
No,
the
no,
master?
that I to explain to you.
Okay. And sir, as a single person, how can I contribute to the MOOC?
As a single person,
How can I contribute to the MOOC?
we are basically teachers.
Okay.
So all that we teach, we digitalize the content what we teach in that 4 quadrant approach. That's all.
Okay. So this is the last question,
And
sir.
you can also tell the participants. I think they have my number,
Okay.
right? I've given the number and the details. You can share the number and my email ID. Preferably phone would be fine. They can even leave a message if I miss the call. They
Okay.
can always keep in touch with me in helping them to develop the content and then help them in giving some advice.
Okay.
Almost all the advice may not be valuable to them, at least to some extent, whatever the extent that I can contribute to them in helping developing the course, I'll be able to do that. And as a person, I teach as an individual, I teach a particular subject. So what I teach, I can convert it into a digital form based on the 4 quadrants and then create a course. So that is how we contribute in creating a MOOC program.
Fine, sir. So the last question, sir. Same
Yes.
pattern of MOOCs used in all over the world. That is Swayam, they meant. Why not have e-learning platform like edX, Coursera, or any other pattern?
Yeah, there you can do it. Why I took MOOC is that when we are going to calculate the academic score and things like that, and a recognized UGC recognized platform will not be questionable. So that is the reason I just took MOOC. Not necessarily only the MOOC. You can load it in any platform.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you,
your
Dr. Sheila.
clarification.
Any chat box or anything, you can just note down the questions and then you can send
Sir,
it to
you
me.
put your first slide, sir. There you have your email ID as well as your number, no, sir.
Which one?
You have your first slide. In your first slide, you have your email ID and phone number.
Right.
Could you please
I'll
put
go
that?
to that.
Meanwhile, we'll complete our vote of thanks. Bharati madam, are you there? Hello, Bharati ma'am.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, yes, okay. So now I request my friend, Department of Applied Physics, Miss G. Bharati, to deliver vote of thanks. Please,
Okay.
Bharati
Good
ma'am, please carry on.
good evening to all. The best and beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even heard. Prayer among them. Privilege to thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of Department of Applied Physics, to Venkateshwara College of Engineering and the organizing committee of this webinar, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to the Honorable Speaker, Dr. J.C. N.R. A special thanks to our speaker who enriched us with adapting e-learning and teaching in the present scenario. A special thanks to our management and the organizing committee who for their unflinching support. With these warm words and a kind message, I once again thank everyone who participated and made the success of this webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank
Thank you very much, Dr. Sheila. Thank you. Convey my thanks to the head of the department. Thank you, Dr. Bharati. Thank you, all the department. And thank you, all the participants. We are basically teachers. We develop the society. And MOOC helps us to develop the society still further and further in the digital world. So thank you, all the participants. I put my slide, and any queries, you can pass it to me through Dr. Sheila, or you can email to me, or you can call me. If I'm not picking up the call, just leave a text message and your name. I will get back to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Prasanna
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. Participants,
Thank you, Dr. Sheila.
Thank you so much, sir, Prasanna sir. We are happy to
Thank
hear you, and then it was very nice and wonderful presentation, sir. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. We may have
Have
one
I
more
even
session
taken
like
much
this,
of your
sir.
time?
And then many
Yes,
participants,
shall
we
I?
had For your G-certificate, your feedback completion is very, very important. Please complete your feedback session before leave the meeting.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for